On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day on this wonderful election day. Exciting. I'll tell you what, there's a lot going on, a lot of conversation happening, a lot of shenanigans already being reported, and in my opinion, way too much confidence reporting right now. I'm just not going to be totally like that. In fact, there is a bunch of stuff I just chose not to even report yet, because ultimately what's happening as of this moment, it's 11:52 a.m. Pacific time, at this moment, there's a long way to go. Now, I think we're getting close, obviously, to the East Coast, but there's problems and shenanigans happening, so there's extended deadlines now for polling places, which is good, I think. But there's a lot happening. So let's talk about it. Let's get through it. Ultimately, tomorrow's show, I don't know. I'm very anxious. This is the most anxious I've been in a long time, and I'm very almost bothered by the fact that I even meditated this morning. I was like, we get into it. Doesn't matter. But ultimately, we're getting through a crazy day. And we'll see how it plays out. Numbers are looking interesting. They're definitely going to try to cheat badly, but, it is what it is. Pretty funny thing that somebody put out, this election has really divided us. One guy found out his parents voted Harris for president, and he said he's going to stop visiting their graves. Might have to sink in, but that was a funny joke. Here's Kamala Harris's husband talking about how Kamala gets to business. You guys gotta have to put on your dirty people thinking caps for a second.
Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
What? Huh? What? Huh? No, couldn't have been that. And then this, I don't know, remember the 5th of November. This might matter a lot more to many of you guys than it does to me, but I'm playing it.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Got a creepy look on his face. That's all I can say. Creepy look on his face. Stop it. Get off me. You're probably going to like this, and this was shared by Elon Musk. A lot of people are making a big darn deal about it because it's got Q in it. So keep that in mind. That's funny. And see what you think.
Ronald McDonald.
We will drive out the globalists.
All patriots go.
We will cast out the communists. America will start winning again. Winning like never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. And we will bring back our dreams.
Yeah. So anyway, people are making a big deal about the fact that there's Q in there. I don't know. Is what it is. I don't disagree, but then again, I don't necessarily agree either. I sometimes wonder if he watches every bit of it. At fast speed maybe, or was he really paying attention or just kind of listening on the side while he was doing something else at the same? Like, I can't imagine he spends as much time on X as he does because he's running like 3 companies. So he's got to be multitasking, just thinking out loud. I don't know. I could be wrong. Who could be wrong? I don't know what it's like to be a billionaire. That's for sure. Here's Trump talking about being in the Lincoln bedroom. People are making, again, big deal about him saying 17. 17 is significant. Most people want to say it's because of Q. I disagree. I think 17 is actually important. It's just coincidentally the 17th letter is Q also, which is significant, yes, but 17 was used against us. 17 is now being used against them. So that's why Trump keeps bringing it up. The deep state said 17 times Trump had been there because that was supposed to be them utilizing the 17. Trump has taken it from them and utilized it back over and over. And in fact, to the point where now he owns the 17. And I don't know if the Q thing was an accident or how that all plays out, if just how it's always been. But it's not about necessarily Q, I don't think, the letter, as much as it is about the number 17 and likely 71. That usually just the reverse of the same number is often just as powerful. So keep these things in mind. But here's Trump talking about it.
So go get it for Christmas or something. But it was just, when I was in the Lincoln bedroom, it was a surreal experience. It was like an outer body, they call it, experience. And it just was like it was something
unbelievable. I said, can you believe this is where we are? And I was not a Washington person. I was only there 17 times, according to the fake news. But I think it's right. I was only there 17 times in my entire life. I wasn't, and I was a New York guy, now I'm very much a Washington guy. I know the good ones, the bad ones, people. I know the dumb ones, the smart ones. I know a lot about the people. I didn't know anything about the people. I had to rely, and we did great. We had mostly great, the trade people, the war people. We had a lot of great people. But when I was on the ground, there was no surreal experience. I knew I was shot in the ear. And I was telling Secret Service, and let me tell you, they were damn brave.
The media said 17 times. The media, not Trump. Trump never really put it forth. The media did. So again, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think I'm making a bigger deal about it than I need to per se, but I think a lot of times people go in the opposite direction a little too far as well. So, Elon retweeted this Trump war room part. What is this? Minute something. More Trump stuff. Always good. And to every citizen. Yeah, this is just a great reminder heading into the election. For all of us, I hope you've already voted, frankly, because of all the shenanigans happening, which is what we told you would happen. But we are experiencing it, and it's going to be the worst in the places that matter the most. But we'll see how that impacts the big picture. All said, this is going to give you some hope, and you might like that. Check that out.
Across this land, I am asking for the honor of your vote. I don't want your money. Most people want your money. I don't want any money. All I want you to do is go out today. Sounds a little strange. Go out today. Meaning go out in a few hours, okay? This guy's complicated because it sounds so much better when you say tomorrow when it's night, but that's okay. I want to be exactly accurate for them. But go out today and vote. And I guess 7 o'clock or whatever time it is, doesn't matter. And we're going to have the greatest victory in the history of our country. And as your president, I will fight for you every single day with every breath in my body. Together we will save this country, this great country that we love. We will defeat the corrupt system in Washington. Because I'm not running against Kamala. I'm running against an evil Democrat system. These are evil people. I wasn't running against Biden either. He was stuck in a basement. I didn't even run against him. No, we're running against a very evil system, and we have to defeat that system, and America's future will be an absolutely incredible one.
Yeah, we definitely have to beat the system. And I pray. I was talking to a good friend of mine, heavy, hard Democrat. We've, it's been a fun road. And I was telling him, all the stuff I tell you guys about common ground and all that. And I tell you, we fully do, and we always do, and we did again. And we're even in agreement about how this plays out. And the thing he said that was beautiful to me, and I hope he's right. But he says, I hope that whoever wins overwhelmingly. Which I know this guy, and what he's basically saying is, if Trump wins, I hope he totally wins, like they're afraid or what, like, you know what I mean? And that was like a big deal to me. And so I got to apologize to you guys just up front. First off, I am in such a place right now where I am, like I've said, I've got my dukes up. I'm prepared for the worst. I'm praying for the best, and I truly am. I've got faith that this is all going to work out however it does. I think someone was sending me emails and quoting scripture, and it was very important for them to understand that it's in God's hands. I fully get that, and I have way prior to the email, but I have to speak to thousands of people, and some of you may not really understand what the weight of that feels like. I take that very responsibly, and it concerns me a lot. So how this plays out, I worry about you guys and how I'm going to handle that. That's what scares the shit out of me. I pray we overwhelmingly win, like my good friend said. I pray. Because that will make things much, much easier. We'll see what happens. I'll believe it when I see it. I know shenanigans are happening. We're going to talk about them. But again, I have absolute faith. I know who wins the big picture. It's just an issue of how I am impacted. Just selfishness, that's all. Yeah. Just worried about how I'm going to help the masses. Posted, pretty cool. U.S. elections apparently have never been more secure. This is for the damn story. How did I lose this story so many times? It's funny. I was looking for this because there's just been so much talk around this. First off, they're saying that elections have never been more secure than ever. We know passwords have been released, downloaded, released, shown, admin passwords. So, of course, that's not going to be a problem at all. I doubt, hopefully they have changed the passwords on all these boxes, but I very much doubt it. Size is saying that, so this is the securest election ever, though Russia is being blamed for everything. Now, there's been bomb threats thus far. We'll get there. That's all Russia's fault. This is just insane. So we're being told by all the craziest people that when they do the cheat, it wasn't a cheat. That's all. That's all they're telling us. And if any sort of cheating seems to have occurred, well, then it's Russia. And, of course, if Russia somehow messes with the vote, then, well, those votes have to count because we can't undo votes that are, I don't know, we would never know whose votes were real and whose weren't. Like, again, it's a psyop for sure. They're trying to get us all to believe stupid stuff. Now, the panic button does seem to be pressing in a few places. 2024 U.S. presidential election campaign has been a particularly volatile one, and security for Election Day on Tuesday is being ramped up to unprecedented levels, given the concerns over possible civil unrest, election chicanery, and violence against election workers. States of Oregon, Washington, and Nevada, if they're cheating, man, I hope. God, I hope. Anyway, whatever. It's in God's hands. I mean, that's literally, I know that. I was telling my friend that. I was just like, I can't, there's nothing more I can do. The state of Oregon, Washington, and Nevada have activated the National Guard. The FBI has set up a command post to monitor threats, and security has been bolstered at many of its nation's nearly 100,000 polling stations. 19 states, including key election battleground Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada, have enacted election security enhancement laws since 2020, according to the National Conference. Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump deadlocked, they say. Authorities are keen to reassure jittery Americans that their votes are secure. Right. Runback Election Services, which provides security technology for poll operations, confirmed to, who's AFP? I don't know, AFP on Monday, that it ordered some 1,000 panic buttons for clients that include election facilities and their workers. These small devices, worn as a lanyard or held in a pocket, are paired with a user's cell phone and contact law enforcement or other authorities in case of emergency. That's cool. So I got a little panic button. Oh my God! Oh, sorry. I thought that was a Trump hat. That was something. I was red. I know. It was something different. My bad. I already called the cops on you. Oh well. You're going to be arrested. Shouldn't wear red hats. New from America First Legal in Arizona. Secretary Fontes didn't want to produce the list of 218,000 registered voters who did not provide proof of citizenship. They appealed to the Court of Appeals. His appeal was just rejected. He has to produce the list today. Now, this was yesterday. I hadn't heard I didn't see any information stating if they had, but judge stated they had to. Either way, we're going to ultimately get that information. Philadelphia City Commissioner Office tells non-citizens they can vote if they are Philly residents. Yeah, this crazy shit's happening.
James O'Keefe here in North Philadelphia on 5th Street. Right here is the Philadelphia City Commissioner's Office the day before Election Day, and across the street is an NGO called Saiba. That's Saiba, and they are telling people to vote. They are telling people that all you need is what's called a TIN number, that's ITIN number, and you can vote if you're not a citizen of the United States. So we sent an undercover reporter to this NGO right across from the place where people are early voting, and she got confirmation that yes, in fact, she can vote with nothing but an ITIN number.
Yo sí puedo votar, aunque no sea residente ni ciudadana. Sí.
And then we went into the city commissioner's office to speak to the man who works there, working for the city government, confirming that you only need to be a resident of Philadelphia.
But when I say resident, that means of the entire United States. But you're just worried about
Philadelphia.
Oh, you don't care about anything else. You just want them to have a resident of Philadelphia. After that, you confirm that, you register. Whether you have a social security number or not, you can vote.
Obviously, it's extremely loud here. Music is very loud. So we're going to go ahead and walk across the street and talk to these people.
Hello. Mira, están jodiendo estos mamados.
Are you
Aquí están jodiendo.
Are you Juliesa? Are you Juliesa? And these people over here across the street are saying that you can vote if you have an I-10 number. This is the document that they gave us.
Once again,
I-10.
I cannot comment because I don't know, no idea.
And the bastard's still dancing. Damn you. Damn you, O'Keefe Media Group. Yeah, it works for me, maybe. I don't know. I think it's funny so. So yeah, this whole I-10 number just has to do with the fact that you're actually here as a you're here legally, but you're not a legal citizen. So they're very specific about pointing out the fact that just because you have an I-10 number does not mean it means you pay taxes. There we go. It should be actually correct. It means you pay taxes, but it does not mean you have a right to vote. So sorry. And I think that's one of the things they've been pushing around. Well, he pays taxes, so he should get to vote. No, he shouldn't. When he becomes a citizen and earns that right, then he gets to vote. Otherwise, if he doesn't earn the right to vote, he doesn't get to vote. Becoming a citizen is what it's about. That's what this country's been formed on. What are you, an immigrant hater? I know, they turn it on us all the time. Might as well play the same game back at them. All right, crap ton of stuff for elections. Crap ton of stuff going on right now. First and foremost, just something to kind of point out. Okay, so 96. Winner was projected by basically, 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night, election day, the winner was established. In 2000, Al Gore conceded 36 days after the election, so that took a long time. 2004, Democrat candidate John Kerry conceded 1 day after. 2008, Barack Obama, he was projected the winner at 23:18 on election day, right? So almost midnight. Barack Obama, 2012, projected just before midnight, election day. Donald Trump, 2016, projected winner at 2:29 the day after election, but 2:29 a.m., so almost at midnight, just past a couple hours, right? 2020, Joe Biden was projected winner 4 days after the election. Now, again, to point out the fact that there was COVID that year, that was a big part of it, so it was unique from that standpoint. But then, crap, you had the George Bush thing. That took 36 days because of the Chad fiasco, for those of you that remember. It was good times. Tea leaves that people were reading yesterday. Again, it's just where we're at, what's going to happen, how this, we'll see when it sees. I'm sorry, that's where I'm at with it. I know there's a lot of people, but Dan. I know, I saw a bunch of the stuff. There's a bunch of stories I intentionally left out. I just don't want to, I don't want to affect people on election day, right? And anyway, go out and vote. You need to vote. If you haven't voted, get out and vote. Stand in line forever. It's your fault. You waited till today. Go out and vote today. They can't kick you out of line on election day. If you get in before they close, it doesn't matter if they say they're closing, just stay in line. And then call it in, film it, call the police, be like, they literally are closing the polling place. I'm still in line. I've been in line for 5 hours. They'll be like, that's against the law. They're not allowed to do that. 230,000 GOP poll observers and workers. 500,000 GOP attorneys in every battleground state. The zone is flooded, unlike 2020. Stuffing tabulators is tough in this environment. And if electronic mischief is the alternative, then physical ballots on secure paper instantly hand audited will help. We're ready for what they're going to do. Donald Trump says it's time to save America from disaster by telling Kamala Harris we've had enough of the damage she's caused. Your part to guarantee we win by more than the margin of fraud by casting your vote and taking responsibility for ensuring every American and Trump voter in your household cast theirs too. Laura Trump is putting this out. ProtectTheVote.com. If you see anything messed up, go to ProtectTheVote.com. If you see anyone doing shenanigans, go to ProtectTheVote.com and report it. If there's something where they kicked you out of line, go to ProtectTheVote.com and report it. They will immediately get lawsuits spun up. Immediately. Go to ProtectTheVote.com. Laura Trump's going to make sure that we are secure and protected on our side. Go to the polls. We need you not just to cast your vote, though that's borderline most important. It's also because you'll find the shenanigans. My audience will end up in shenanigan land, and that's perfect. I want you to catch them. We need that. Go to protectthevote.com. Right? Where is it? Lost it already. Protectthevote.com. Go there. Fix it. Make sure we protect it for others following us. President Trump, we want the answers tonight. Damn straight. Though he said this last night, which is kind of funny, but I think he means tonight. How I feel he meant it.
12-day waits. And then what the hell's happening in the inside of those machines if you wait? We want the answer tomorrow, tonight. We want the answer tonight. They spend all this money. And old-fashioned paper is much less expensive. And you know what? It's more accurate. It's much better. Something's going on with this. I mean, what the hell are they doing? But we don't want to wait 10 days, 12 days, 3 days, 2 days, or 2 hours. We want the answer tonight. So we live in an occupied country, and I will tell you, we will be an occupied country no longer. This will take these young guys, these have military type equipment, highest grade, highest level, supreme military equipment. Where the hell did they get this stuff? They've taken over large parts of Colorado. They've taken over parts of numerous states, and a lot of people don't want to talk.
Yeah, time to take this country back from the criminals, from the gangsters that have been running it forever. Donald Trump posted this. It's now officially Election Day. This will be the most important day in American history. Voter enthusiasm is through the roof because people want to make America great again. That means lines are going to be long. I need you to deliver your vote no matter how long it takes. Stay in line. The radical communist Democrats want you to pack up and go home. Together, we are going to have a tremendous victory and make America great again. If your work is only giving you an hour to go and vote or whatever, and there's a huge-ass line at your polling place, your work can't fire you. Stay in line. Stay in line. Vote. Kind of shouldn't have waited till today if you're actually voting, but get out and vote, please. Please. Pretty please. So the Georgia Supreme Court overturned a decision by a Fulton County judge. This, unfortunately, does not describe it properly, at least in my opinion, using the words they use. I'm not even going to bother reading them. I'm going to read to you what the motion says, at least part of it. Upon consideration of the emergency motion for superseding, essentially, of appellants, the Republican National Committee and Georgia Republican Party, Inc., as well as the briefs filed by the parties and the amicus curiae, appellate's emergency motion for supersedious is granted. Supreme Court Rule 9, consistent with OCGA blah, 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 the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration, the board, may count only those absentee ballots received by the statutory deadline of 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th, 2024. The board shall keep separate the absentee ballots of any affected voters as identified by the trial court's November 1st, 2024 order that are received by the board after 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th, and on or before 5 p.m. on November 8th in a secure, safe, and sealed container separate from other voted ballots consistent with statutory stuff. Excerpt that the ballots shall not be destroyed until further order of the court. They're going to hang on to them and maybe look at them, and maybe they're going to get brought in. We'll see. This will be the court battle to come. It will be funny what they say. It will be funny if they're proper, because there's going to be a lot of last-minute stuff. This is what they typically do. So in some places, the important places, we seem to have managed to put some protections in place. We didn't make a lot of noise about it because the deep state would have done something to stop it, or tried in this case and failed. So, we'll see. Elon Musk, oops, this is not necessarily what the next story is. Oh, I just wanted to bring up the Apache County thing. I think I got the snippet. Yeah, I just took a snippet of it. It's an email. I didn't want to show all the email stuff. I didn't want to show who they were or myself. Dan, Light Warrior. I like that. That's a good way to start the show. Kind of both. Light worker, light warrior, peaceful warrior, all the good stuff. I am a poll worker in Apache County, Northeast Arizona. The printers are not printing both sides of the ballot. Only one side is printing, and it's not even issuing a second page of the remainder of it. We are having to issue emergency ballots and fill-in ballots. I have been told by the election day technician for Apache County said that this is a county-wide problem. Yeah, go figure. Didn't see that one coming, did we? No. I think they sent me another email, and I just have not had a chance to go check it. Been too busy. U.S. Justice Department cleared to send election monitors to Texas and Missouri. So here's the thing. Again, this is Reuters throwing a shit story at the headline. Kind of, but kind of not. Justice Department is allowed to send DOJ people. They have been told specifically and are being asked specifically, they are not allowed to go inside the polling locations, period. They can stand outside, they can park their cars in the parking lots, but they cannot go inside of these places. So, whatever. Texas and, who's the other one that was fighting this? Texas and Missouri. Both, well, the two, AGs that friggin' had their shit together. There you go. Go figure that. But yeah, both of them have been fighting to get them the Fed the hell out. I know DeSantis did the same, so Florida's another one. He kind of does stuff from a governor level, it seems. I don't know if his AG's on the same page as much. Certainly not as these guys. I haven't heard any stuff coming from them. Texas sues the DOJ over agencies sending election monitors to 8 counties, so it's continuing. They're pushing the next step. Pushed this out yesterday. Today, I sued the Biden-Harris administration and the U.S. Department of Justice for dispatching federal agents to monitor Texas elections without any legal authority and in violation of state law. Again, this is Biden's rules through this whole register people, especially people that aren't legal. And so they want to come to some of these places where I think they've sent the most, this is my guess, where they've sent the most illegals or there's a high concentration of them, then the Fed wants to come in and make sure that everybody's allowed to vote. That's really what this is. Of course, we don't trust the Fed. Sorry, FBI. Sorry, Merrick Garland. You guys suck. No chance in hell you're getting the benefit of the doubt ever. In fact, you have to demonstrate in some weird, ultra superior way than you've ever done before in your life that you're doing the right thing. Otherwise, it's assumed you're not. Sorry, you've tainted everything, you bad apple. If there's ever a chance to make things better again, it's getting you two the fuck out. I could have said F, but wouldn't have felt as good, that's for sure. Michael Watley posted this, Pennsylvania election integrity. Early this morning, we learned that Republican poll watchers in Philadelphia, New York, Westmoreland, Allegheny, Lehigh, whatever, Cambria, Wyoming, and Lackawanna counties were being turned away. We deployed our roving attorneys, engaged with local officials, and I can now report that all Republican poll watchers have been let into the building. We will keep fighting, keep winning, and keep sharing the updates. I told you guys we're shining bright spotlights on all this stuff. Widespread voting issues are being reported in precincts across Cambria County Tuesday morning. Some precincts are reportedly putting cast paper ballots in lock boxes to be scanned at a later time. Some precincts are reportedly telling voters to return later in the day once the machines are fixed. 6 News has reached out to the Department of State, who directed us to Cambria County Election Office. They are unable to be reached on Election Day. the day it matters. Some voting machine issues are being reported in Bedford County. Officials were saying they are working on fixing the machines, but are keeping cast ballots in lock boxes until they can be tabulated. It always reminds me of that Al Gore thing with lock boxes. That was his big thing with putting money in a lock box. We'll put it in a lock box. He's such a fool. I can't believe how we almost went off the rails way back then even. Well, I don't know. Bush just took us into a war era, so could have been straight communism or straight into, causing more people to hate our asses. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I guess. Court allows Cambria County to, and we will also have our rights with the Patriot Act, by the way. So that was, of course, those wonderful friends of ours. Court allows Cambria County to extend voting for 2 hours because of this problem that they've found with voting machines. So you're getting an extra 2 hours to vote out there in Cambria County, Pennsylvania, I believe, right? Isn't that where that is? Yes. Exactly. All those crazy counties I was just saying. Major problems with voter machines at Residence Inn on Medical Complex Drive in Tomball, Texas. None of the machines work. Issues with paper feeding and reading. So for some reason, you're planning on going there. By the time my show came out, that sucks. Otherwise, there's some more shenanigans. We told you, we promised. Jake Sherman posted this in regards to House Press Galleria or whatever. I don't know what it is. The House is apparently going to be meeting at 5 p.m. today, Election Day. They're going to meet pro forma session. No roll call votes are expected. Curious what this is about, but Jake Sherman was certainly saying the same basic thing. Holding a pro forma on Election Day? Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, we've got, what's this one? Trump campaign prepares for no result. No. Let's see. Let's refresh just to make sure it's, yeah. The wait is apparently almost over. Why are we doing this? Trump campaign, they won't likely be an election winner declared tonight. Probably. Unprecedented and exhausting campaign. Technical issues have hit Indiana and crucial swing state Pennsylvania. So they're just preparing us for the issues they're planning on having. Georgia has got bomb threats happening. So, yeah, a bunch of places. All eyes are going to be on the 7 swing states that seem to be having problems. Isn't that a shock? Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada. It's a big deal. This is why I'm not about to get too far ahead of myself like so many people. Getting out in front of your skis, if you will, for all my skiing friends out there. Small lines in deep blue areas of Pennsylvania and big giant lines in the more rural areas of Pennsylvania. Just something to consider. Stay in line, folks. If you waited till today, and that's borderline your fault, whatever the case is, thank you. Please vote. Stay in line. It's super important. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says the non-credible threats that briefly disrupted voting at 2 Georgia polling places originated from Russia. We identified the source. It was from Russia, he says. Here's the retard saying it himself. I call him a retard just to make sure that was put out there in advance, so when you hear him talk, you'll be like, oh, yeah, totally. Gotcha.
Threats at polling places that we've heard about, one bomb threat. Have you heard any other verifiable threats at any polling places?
We've heard some threats that were of Russian origin, and so I don't know how to describe if that's viable. We don't think they are, but in the interest of public safety, you always check that out, and we'll just continue to be very responsive when we hear about stuff like that. We identified the source, and it was from Russia.
Can you elaborate on that? What kind of threats?
As he said, it's a bomb threat.
So it was of Russia, and you're confident it was the Russians that did?
Yeah, just like we had the DDoS attack on Monday, October 14th, 420,000, pings, denial of service from Russians. So we added that interface that said, I am a human, I'm not a robot. So they're up to no mischief, it seems, and they don't want us to have a smooth, fair, and accurate election, and anything they can get us to fight among ourselves, they can count that as a victory. So that tells you a little bit about the Russians. They're not.
So just to explain to you how big a retard this guy is, you guys understand what VPNs are. We're a pretty savvy group of people. VPNs are a way to make it seem like your IP address is in a different location. And when you do that, you're allowed to have different privileges depending on that location, or different restrictions, again, depending on that location. So what he's telling us is these attacks came from a specific IP that was located in Russia. That's how we know they're Russian. Because they came from a Russian IP. Right. That's bullshit. 100% bullshit. Anybody could fake that with a regular VPN, especially a no-log VPN. So he's a retard. Just saying. Georgia poll worker apparently mailed a bomb and a rape threat letter. That's a double whammy. Sent both of those to his own office, signed by voter angry over election fraud, says the feds. Now, again, maybe he's someone different from the Russians that are out there. That was back in... Yeah, okay, he had an issue way back on October 16th, they're saying. Whatever. This recently happened, it seems. But we're supposed to, of course, blame Russia, not possibly other people doing stupid stuff, that's for sure. FBI statement on bomb threats to polling locations. The FBI is aware of bomb threats to polling locations in several states, many of which appear to originate from Russian email domains. None of the threats have been determined to be credible thus far. Election integrity is among the FBI's highest priorities, other than actually causing the calamities. We will continue to work closely with our state and local law enforcement partners to respond to any threats to our elections and to protect our communities as Americans exercise their right to vote. As always, we urge the public to remain vigilant and report suspicious activity to state and local enforcement or submit tips to the FBI. They got phone numbers. Of course, tips.fbi.gov. Just, get a picture of whoever the thug is because it's most likely an FBI guy. These guys are behind anything that's happening. I absolutely don't trust the FBI or the CIA's definitely. But either way, doesn't matter. U.S. Capitol has arrested a man who was stopped during their screening process at the Capitol Visitor Center. The man smelled like fuel, had a torch, and a flare gun. Probably a Republican, they're going to tell us, right? I'm sure he was. And he hated transgenders. And he hated black people. News at 11. Yeah, this is just stupid. Stupid. Now I'm so happy I'm done with the election section. That rhymed nicely. So, Kamala Harris, she's a little bit under fire going into the election. She met with some Muslim people, influencer, Muslim individual, and she was talking with this guy trying to be all funny and and she decided to talk about, bacon, and she was calling it like bacon's a spice, which is true to anybody that's not Muslim or vegetarian or doesn't eat pork specifically. But anybody that's a Muslim, well, they don't eat pork at all. So it's not a spice. Pork is something you stay the fuck away from. You can't enjoy the most beautiful food called bacon. It's a shame. Maybe that's why they get like 90 virgins or whatever the shit when they die. Maybe. Or is that Islam? I don't know. They probably can't have bacon either. I don't know. I'm ignorant to all these different religions' food habits. But she said it's a spice that kind of pissed off a lot of people in the Muslim population. Trump was out there talking to Muslims, oddly, the other day in Michigan, Dearborn, I believe it was. So, man, take that, Kamala Harris. Trump knows bacon's not a spice. Bacon's something you put on a burger. Hello. On this very last rally, President Trump just began walking out at 12:12 and then began speaking at 12:17. One of these days, I'm going to retire, and I'll be happy. No, I'm kidding. I was telling a friend, though, it's just like, my God, I can't wait. I want a day or two off after this election if I can. We'll see how it goes. Oh, my God, I might have to keep fighting. But yeah, Trump walked out at those times. I guess that's super significant. Why did I share that? Was it a good speech, I hope? What is wrong with myself? Well, let me see. Let's try. Let's give myself the benefit of the doubt. I probably don't deserve it.
Right again. American rock new. Right again. American rock new.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States.
Yeah, so I didn't deserve that at all. He's just demonstrating. Why did I put this in
It's
here?
unbelievable.
Oh, this again. Fuck this. I hate that. Don't like how you post, Melissa. Republicans, we are doing great. Stay online. Do not let them move you. Stay online and vote. Many people tripping on the fact that he said stay online twice, not stay in line, stay online. I'm thinking it might be one of those things where, like, make sure any of you guys that can and will be up all night, if there's some election source like Fox or something and you're able to record it, I'd probably recommend not using a phone to do it, but whatever's available to you, record and maybe keep recording. I'm wondering if we're looking to get evidence of the switches. And the switches will likely happen roughly around the same times, whether we'll have outages or just flicker in 1 minute. There'll be this huge shift in votes. I think he's saying stay online. I don't know. It's a hunch. I'm not the only one saying that. I mean, I agree with the consensus, I guess, or well, some of the people saying that. Elon Musk is going to spend election night with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, cuddle up, Snugglebug. Oh, probably not like that. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, they're going to be hanging out. I'm kidding, of course. I mean, come on. Trump's not gay. Elon's not. Well, Elon was called gay by Waltz, but, right? Like, I don't know. What happens when a gay person calls you gay? I mean, I don't know. You're like, I mean, rubber glue? I don't know. I don't know what happened, buddy, but I don't really feel like that fits me as well as it does you. Maybe I'm just being a mirror for you. I don't know. But yeah, Elon Musk going to be hanging there. The expectation is, of course, Trump's going to win or can hopefully declare victory tonight, which I assume he will. This is going to be probably a reasonably long night. I don't know if I'm going to go live. I don't know. We'll see. If I do, you guys will see me pop up, but I don't know if I want to torture myself. Really don't feel like torturing myself. I feel like I've done enough stuff to be tortured. Netanyahu's offering millions of dollars, I guess, to Palestinians who free hostages. If you've got Israeli which is kind of weird. Maybe this is like a way for Palestinians to want to go try to get themselves an Israeli hostage first and then negotiate money. But I think Netanyahu's actually trying to get the hostages freed that might still be alive. So it's like if you have any people that are still alive, or maybe we'll even give you, pennies on the dollar. If they're not alive, at least we'll know, and we can get the remains back. I'm sure that's probably better than nothing in some cases. But he's actually offering them kind of like free passage. Like, you let them go, we'll let you come through. I don't know, it seems like a nicely bold move, but we'll see. Viktor Orban put this out, and I'm sure he's not speaking English, so I'll just read this short little snippet, and it's probably best. We have an important week ahead of us. Just 2 days after the American elections, Hungary will host the European Political Communities Summit as well as the informal meeting of the European Council. Fasten your seatbelts. I hope so. They got Autobahns and shit out in Europe. So yeah, you better tighten it up. U.S. is going to be testing a hypersonic nuclear missile tonight, just hours after election polls close. By the way, I'm kind of actually stoked about this, and let me tell you why. Because I can see Vandenberg missile launches from where I live. Literally, I can just look out this door, front door. I got to go out to the front balcony. But I can actually see those launches. And it'll be at 5 p.m. And so the sun will be starting to set. Oh, man, it's going to be epic. And it's perfectly clear today. Perfectly clear. It's going to be beautiful. So I'll be able to see this. And I will be watching. This is a hypersonic nuclear missile test. It's not going to have a nuke on it. It'll have a payload equal in weight. But it will be testing. They're launching it like 4,200 miles from here. I guarantee every deep state country, and certainly all the ones that think they're going to get the best of the United States, will be watching this extraordinarily closely. There will be spy satellites that will be fixated on this point in time. There are satellites that were literally moved for this. I hope it behaves the way I hope our elections turn out. We'll ultimately see. I'll tell you what, folks, we are so many few little short snippets away from all sorts of crazy stuff happening. In fact, I do have stories coming up of where the deep state is failing, but it's Europe right now that you can tell is running out of money, and South Korea. They're both suing major companies for money for what they're claiming to be bad things. And what I think this is the deep state running out of money. This system is going to start to collapse. Election day is today. Obviously, they managed to escape the potential downfall. But I don't know how much longer they can keep pumping it up, especially if it looks like Trump's going to win. This situation could get kind of bad for the deep state economy very quickly. Protect yourself. Get out of their system into something that's holding value and always does during crazy inflationary times. You know, in the last 4 years, our dollar has lost 25% of its value. Literally. In 4 years, the dollar lost 25% of its buying power because of Kamala and Biden. Get out of their system. This trend is not stopping quickly. Trump is going to have to do some fancy stuff, or maybe this is just the time that we kick the Fed out and we actually go full bankrupt, which is something that many people have talked about. Again, get your paper fake assets out of their system and into physical assets that stay worth something even if economies crash. Why did pirates always take treasure chests full of gold and treasures, matey? Because they're worth something. It's worth something. Always has been. And right now those values are going up hugely, probably because mostly the dollar sucks. Get out of their system. Get into something that's going to hold that wealth through this, like a bobber in the ocean. If it gets up really high, your bobber's going to float with it. If it goes down, it'll go with it. It's okay. But it's going to hold the value that you bought in at. Actually, it doesn't really go down the same way, but it holds the value. It's a powerful way to get out of their system. Make sure they're not investing your money in stuff you don't want them to, and make sure that you're protected. You spent years putting money into your 401k or your IRA. Get out. Tax-free, penalty-free. Get into a precious metals IRA. Let my good friends at Goldco show you what it's all about. And I'm also going to tell you something that's super cool. One, you can get a Ronald Reagan silver coin. And I think if you fill this out and you have a qualifying IRA and 401k, and that's how you get the coin, but 10% of that value, they're going to give you in free silver. Free silver. Up to 10%, I should say, just in case there's some weird wiggle room. But that's what they say in their little calculator. I used their silver calculator. I put in like $1 million. It was 100,000. 10%. Put in 500 grand. It's 50 grand in free silver. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system. Tax-free, penalty-free. It's physical metals in a trust. That's how they do it. Tax-free and penalty-free. But it's yours. Legally and in every way, shape, and form. And if maybe down the road you say, hey, send it to me, I'll take the penalties. Take the penalties. I mean, I don't, got to look into how that plays out, but it's your metal. You bought it. Get out tax-free, penalty-free. Go sideways. Do it without them being able to mess with you in any way. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Don't know when this stuff's going to get weird, but I know a bunch of you guys are hesitant. Think about this. Find out. Get the information at least. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Get the information. Find out how you can protect your wealth. Yeah, it's a great plan, great path, and it will save you tons of money. That's the best part. All right, we've got some Elon Musk action here to talk about. Oh, yeah, I started watching this, by the way. I think I got a good chunk of the way through it. I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination, but Joe Rogan had on Elon Musk. Oh, man. If you've been watching any of Joe Rogan's stuff, pretty incredible. Joe Rogan posted this: the great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. And it was a very good podcast with Elon Musk. I had one more post here. We'll play this segment, about a minute of them talking.
Most extreme category of weapons technology at SpaceX. Under U.S. ITAR law, it is illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident, because the presumption is that if they're not a permanent resident, they're going to return to their home country and take the rocket technology with them. So it's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not either has not a permanent. They can have a green card or be a citizen. They just have to be a permanent resident of the United States. Then there's another law that says if you discriminate against asylum seekers, you're also breaking the law. So the DOJ, DOJ can only do a small number of big lawsuits every year. Launched a giant lawsuit against SpaceX, saying that SpaceX discriminated against asylum seekers, and we're like, but it's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident. So we're in this this is what I mean. It's like the Orwell situation is getting insane. Like, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
And important to point out the fact that obviously the one rule came before the other. And so that rule would definitely have to supersede in some sort of legal backing. So you can't have two laws that contradict each other, can you? It's interesting where we're at as a society. Again, I pray that this is going to go smoothly. I hope it does. I really do. I know it's going to go how it's supposed to. That's for sure. So yeah, multiple Netflix offices have been raided in an alleged tax fraud investigation. This is happening out in, was it France? Yeah, France. Who's hurting for money? Right? Think about some of these countries. These are total deep state G7 type countries. Though I don't think South Korea is G7, but they're total deep state country. So offices of U.S. streaming giant Netflix were raided by tax investigators Tuesday in France and the Netherlands. Wow. As part of a preliminary investigation into alleged tax fraud laundering. Now, are they guilty, or are they just trying to get money out of them? Don't know. This might actually be an attempt to clean up some of the deep state nonsense. There's something to think about, huh? Right? Let's see if that's true, possibly. South Korea fines Meta $15 million for illegally collecting information on Facebook users. Again, are they looking for money? Are they trying to actually shut things down and protect their people? I think in this case they're looking for money. 15 million US is probably quite a bit of money over there. Not small potatoes. Would probably pay some of their politicians. Yeah, so they fined Meta. South Korea's privacy watchdog has fined Meta $21.6 billion. One for illegally collecting Facebook user data. Oh, that's their numbers. Okay. Jesus, really? 21.6 billion of whatever their thing is. I don't know what their currency is. Do they say in there? Nope. It doesn't really matter, frankly. Who cares, right? I'd probably pronounce it wrong anyway. FBI thwarts planned explosive attack at a Tennessee energy facility. Yeah, they caught a guy that was planning on blowing some stuff up with a drone. I don't know. Who wants to bet they were behind it? Again, do I trust them at all? Zero. I feel like it's most likely they were behind this guy, and then they're like, we caught him. You set him up. You gave him the drone. You taught him how to make explosives. Yeah, so he chose to do it. You set it up. Probably. I don't know. Maybe the dude's a douchehole. His name's Skyler. Sounds like a homo. I'm not meaning that in the right way. He sounds like a douche. Better? His last name's Filippi. Got a lot of P's in there. A lot of P's, a lot of I's, a lot of L's. What the shit? Too much happening. Don't like it. Skyler. What the hell? That was the wife in Breaking Bad, right? Wasn't that her name? Skyler? What is going on? Don't think I like it. Not at all. And there, Merrick Garland just smells of his disgustingness. Elon Musk reposted this Rothsmus post. Never forget. John Podesta's friend, who debunked Pizzagate, was arrested for raping toddlers. Just keep those things in mind. And Elon Musk, who posted it, said, "The hammer of justice is coming." Yes, it is. All of the people on the left that are deep state should be very concerned. Very concerned. Regardless of how this election goes, we're coming for you guys. You guys are bad, evil people. You will be stopped. You will be stopped. God will decide your fate. I'm not interested in that. But we will capture you. We will put you in a cell, a box. Hell, we might even put windows on it so we can have people watch you. Just walk by like a zoo animal. The animal that you are. Yeah, we will. Their days are done. Got Daniel Penny, the guy that was the Marine that did the hold while the homeless guy that was mentally disturbed was like assaulting people in the subway. This dude actually protected them. The guy that's actually going to protect his life right now from New York, throwing him in jail forever for protecting people. He didn't use a weapon, just his own weapons, left and right hand. But yet, how they're referring to him in the opening statements is the white man. Not shitting you. This is what the opening statements of the prosecution is calling him. The white man. Sure they're not trying to throw some sort of racist label on it? How does that matter? He's the defendant. You could call him that. And that's always correct. Why does his race matter? Interesting how they think there in New York. I hope that's not true of all you New Yorkers. I don't believe it is. I mean, you guys will tell me to fuck off in a heartbeat, but I respect that. That's a different thing altogether. I probably deserved it. I did something stupid. Obviously. I was probably looking up. Hey, right? Like everybody does in New York that's not from New York. Otherwise, you're grumpy and you're looking down like you should be with a furrowed face. Kind of almost like Boston, but not quite. That's a total different thing over there. Very angry over there. Very angry. They just, yeah. I think their winters seem to be worse than yours, it seems. Who knows? Maybe you guys could have a competition. Folks, it's election day. I don't know. I'm not really thrilled about it. Might be obvious. We will see how this goes. I mean, the numbers look pretty good. But yeah, they're going to cheat. Of course. Can they? Did we show up in numbers that we needed to? It's in God's hands as far as I can tell right now. And tomorrow and tonight will be interesting. It's like, these are always the hardest videos to put up because like it'll be like 10 minutes after I post this, and then I'll look at all the news that's happened in just the hour I've recorded, and I'll be like, fuck! And, you know, it'll be what it is, you know? I won't be able to do anything about it. And then, yeah, tomorrow, whatever the case is, folks, however this goes, I'm there with you. We'll wake up tomorrow. I'm going to get a cup of coffee, start digging into this shit, and we'll take a step forward tomorrow no matter what. No matter what. We're taking this country back. No matter what. Remember that. No matter what, we're taking this country back. Legally, peacefully, beautifully. I'll be there with you every step of the way. I love you. We'll get through this. I'm probably saying this to myself, but have faith. Little faith. Have a little faith in me. Good song, by the way. Better than when it's them singing, not me. All said, I love you guys. Where we go one, we go all. And it's On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.